Welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast, episode 485. This show is brought to you by Primary Arms, VZ Grips, and Walker Defense. Tonight, we have a Sabre AR10, Romeo X's, MDT stocks, and bad China translations. As you may know, we showcase guns, gear, and anything else you might be interested in. We do our best to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. Tonight, we have Tony and Rusty, and I'm Chad. Rob is not dead. He went to Oshkosh to do something, like flew there, something about seeing planes and, all the stuff that, I don't know. It doesn't apply to guns, so I don't know what he's doing. But these other two characters are here, so this is what you get. And just in time for summer, Primary Arms has everything you need for success. Whoa.
You're doing a Rusty.
Okay. Primary Arms has everything you need for a successful range day. Whew, got through that. Their selection of range gear includes everything from shooting mats to hearing protection, as well as range bags, targets, magazine loaders, and more. Plus, they have great deals on prepackaged first aid kits, which are perfect for the home, car, or your range bag. With high-quality products and unbeatable prices, Primary Arms is your go-to source for all your shooting needs. Visit them today at frn.deal/PA. Now, our Primary Arms product of the week is the Primary Arms IFAK with pouch. And I put the red one in here because, that way it's a med kit. I have one of these, and it's a nice size. I didn't dig it out just because to show you guys, because this is an audio podcast, but do go check out that. They're a pretty cool kit. They have pretty much everything you need. You can get it with or without a tourniquet, I believe. So check those out. And if you use the code Firearms Radio at Primary Arms, you buy the GLX 1-6 24 first focal plane rifle scope, and you'll get a deluxe AR-15 scope mount for free. And last time I checked, those were still on sale for $399. So that's pretty much a steal for one of those. I think regular price is like $599. So you get a great scope, free mount. What else could you ask for? So, did you guys do anything cool in firearms this week?
Got a new gun.
Hey, that counts.
Got the new Ruger.
Oh.
No, it's not a new Ruger. But I got the Ruger varmint lock threaded barrel. And it's got the wood stock on it. And I am on the hunt right now for new trigger group and new scope. And it's going to be a primary arms for sure. And I'm going to keep the stock like it is, but I want to change out the mag release and put a new trigger in it and things. And I've got the Bowers Group suppressor that I'm going to run on it. And looking at scopes, I've been teetering between the Vortex and the Primary Arms, and I think I'm going to go with the Primary Arms. And just because they're an affiliate, and I like them, so that's what I've been doing. And I went and paid my club dues. And the reason I bought this, they're doing the 100-meter shoot at the little chickens and rams and stuff that are about 4 inches diameter at 100 meters. And I wanted something that wasn't too awfully heavy or big, but had the varmint barrel on it that I could reach out a little bit with. And so that's what I got. That's the reason I went with that. So it's something I could trick out that has a lot of aftermarket accessories that's not going to cost me an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to go with it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg, but you might get to check out the Tandem Cross. They have that, what is it called? The Manticore trigger system?
It's the whole drop-in piece. Yes. Yes.
I didn't look at it.
I think we all dry fired that sucker and shot.
Yeah.
I that was one of the first ones I looked at, and I've got it in a cart right now.
Yeah.
And but I'm probably going to go with a BX trigger just because. I mean,
the price wise, yeah, but
compare the price.
Probably more
Because
than
Like
half.
150.
Yeah, it's 2 to 4 pound trigger, adjustable in between there, and my biggest thing is I'm going to shoot Appleseed with it, and I want to change out where the boat holds open and where you can release it, and change out that system on it, and then the ease of the magazine release, change that out, because that was one of the biggest things I do not like about the 1022.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, put one of the extended ones or one of the ones that wraps around the trigger guard. Yeah.
yeah,
Just extended one is fine.
The extended. I don't like the wrap around. I like the extended because you can push pull on those and drop them out.
And it's real easy to get to. I got one on, and I also have the BX trigger. So the BX trigger is a solid trigger. You can tell the difference between the two, because I had a lot of rounds through my 1022 because of the stuff we did. And then I figured, hey, this trigger smooths out a lot. But I caught the BX trigger. I don't know if I caught it on sale or someone gave it to us. I forget. But I put it in one of the rifles, and it was like a whole nother world. So it's a huge improvement. And then we got the chassis from Hightower Armory. So there was no reason to leave a BX trigger on something that I had to pull a bullpup trigger on. So I changed that out. But speaking of Hightower Armory, they have produced a bigger charging handle for the High Point chassis. So they just sent me out this so I can install it, and that'll make it just easier, charging it and giving it that HK slap. And also Hightower Armory is doing M-Lock covers. So they're making M-Lock rubber covers. Just pop into the M-Lock slots. So they send me a bunch of these. They're going to be part of giveaways and raffles and stuff. So I really appreciate that. And I actually went to the range Sunday. And then it all went sideways. On the way to take care of some stuff, freaking the light came on. And check engine light, warning light, transmission, service light. So I got an issue. So I turned around and come back home.
Tony's car had a bunch of ideas and he didn't like it.
Oh, dude. That thing came on like they had missile lock. So I had to turn around and carry my butt back home before it all went sideways.
I get you.
Yeah, it disrupted a lot of things.
You want me to send you a horse and buggy up there?
Yeah, I'm close enough to work that would be viable. And,
he needs the buggy because if he just had a horse, he'd do what you do and fall off.
Nice.
That's why I said buggy. Well, it would be funny as hell to see Tony try to get up in the saddle.
Well, it wouldn't even be that. It would be all the friggin' phone calls about animal cruelty that I get right there. So yeah, no.
That I might believe.
My horse's name is Big Boy. He'd hoe Tony.
Yeah. What I was going to ask you, Rusty, is did you look into the Powder River Precision 22 trigger?
I've seen some of their stuff. I don't know anything about them. I did see it, but I was going to talk to you offline about it.
Okay.
You know more about it. And another question I had was, what about the Magpul Hunter stock?
Yeah. And the Magpul Hunter stocks are decent. They're kind of cool for the price. You really can't go wrong with them. I mean, you can always get, like, depending on how much weight you want to put in it, the Magpul stock's nice because, like, a Boyd stock is going to weigh a lot. You got...
I might just stay with the wood just to kind of keep it classy. But deck it out a little bit.
Yeah, but the Powder River Precision, I saw it at SHOT Show also, and I was impressed with it. I don't know if the price is there with everybody else or not. They used to be in Oregon, and that's where the Powder River is. That's why the name. But
South Dakota.
But they since have moved because they wised up. I don't know if that's why they moved because they're over in the section that wants to be part of Idaho anyway. So, but yeah, look into that. I actually did something this last weekend too. Of course, Tony knows Aaron from the Off-Road Podcast. He put on a pistol shoot up at his place, so I drove up there, and of course, he beat me again because I guess I need to get my Jeep fixed so I can go off roading and show him how it's done.
Nice.
But it was a lot of fun. So I did go up there and do that. I technically kind of bought another gun because I purchased it from the Sportsman's Warehouse because they gave me a 10% off. So I bought another 320 fire control unit, and that came in. I was just surprised the background checks in Oregon now are down to a day. I was like 110 or something in the queue. But of course I did it at night, so it wasn't going to go through the same day. So that's good. So it's no more 2-month wait or whatever it was, December or whatever. So that's pretty much what I did. Aaron puts on a good little match. I don't know if there were 4 or 5 stages, maybe low round count. I think he used the drill index cards to get ideas from him this time. I do know he gave some away for like second place winners and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. I guess if you don't know, Bandwidth sponsor is Patriot Patch Co. And of course, they got their Patch of the Month club that you can join, shall not be infringed, something like that. It's a pretty cool patch. We all have them. You know what we're talking about. They also have other cool stuff like cleaning mats and signs and shirts, and go check them out. They make awesome stuff. Ryan does good job on the graphics. So give them a shout out and buy some of their stuff. Let's see. As you know, we have affiliates discounts. They're on the website at firearmsinsider.tv. Check them out. They're also in the show notes. So depending on where you go, you can check that out. And Rob's not here. So Tony, Rusty, who wants to take Rob's place?
I'll do it. Rusty can stumble through the VZ grip thing.
Okay.
Now, let me see. The views and opinions expressed. Done. Mark 3, done. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual co-hosts and do not reflect the official policy or position of the Firearms Radio Network and or their employees. This is not legal advice, nor should it be considered as such. Viewer discretion is advised. This is especially true on live shows.
Perfect.
The main topic for Product Spotlight is sponsored by VZ Grips. VZ Grips has been manufacturing handgun grips since 2003 with a reputation for quality, consistency, innovation. Top-tier manufacturers choose VZ Grips. They come in a variety of styles, patterns, colors, manufactured by proprietary G10, micarta, carbon fiber, or polymer, available with multiple texturing options. VZ offers a wide range of grips for all different firearm types. Made in the USA, VZ Grips gives you the grips you can count on.
Hey,
Featured
Rusty.
grip of the week. What?
Before we get to the featured grips, you notice I changed that for you.
Yes, I've seen that. Thank you very much. If y'all quit laughing at me, I can finish this now. That's a little group.
Oh, no, them wheels was loose, baby. Go ahead, keep going.
I was trying my best. The
I know you were.
The 1911 wood double diamond grips. And I tell you what, man, if you're a classic 1911 guy, these right here are the grips for you. The full-size 1911 wood double diamond. They do not come in dirty olive, but they do come in Indian rosewood. And they do come in your Caribbean rosewood. And, the marble wood, which is beautiful. And I don't know how to say that.
Go ahead, say that one.
I'm not going to try either.
I'm not even going to say that one. That would get me put in jail in like 38 states. But I think the Caribbean or the Indian is my favorite. But these right here are the classic. To me, these are classic styling grips. The diamonds at the top and bottom. VZ grips, you just can't go wrong with them. So if you're looking for VZ grips, please check out VZ grips at vzgrips.com. Coupon code GGR15 get you 15% off all handgun and rifle grips at vzgrips.com.
Nice. Nice. And as a bonus today, the main topic is basically an update on some VZ stuff that they have sent me. So, you know, I, of course, put it right after the VZ Grips ad. It's like I planned that. But yes, they had sent me the Krell 1911 grips and another AR-15 in the Hydra pattern. Both of these are Hyena Brown. I don't have the AR one handy right now. I do have the Krell grips on the 1911.
Nice.
They are super grippy. I don't know if this will focus on it, but they got, and I wanted to just, you know, do an update on them. They're super grippy. Of course, I got the ones cut for the magwell, so they're flat on the bottom. They don't have the little cutout on the back. Also has the cutout for the mag release. These are on a Rock Island that actually 9mm that actually works, but the Krell grips are super grippy. Not quite as bad as the stipple grip, but you definitely know there's something there. You definitely can get a super good grip on these things. You guys might say they're too much for you, but you know, I don't know if you guys handled them a shot.
I don't have hands like Tony. Look at these hands right here.
Yeah.
These are working man's hands right here.
Yeah, okay, you can say whatever you want, but VZ Grips had something that felt like a pine cone. I don't even remember which one it was.
Those are the stippled ones.
No, dude, it felt like I grabbed onto a pine cone.
And this was called them straight up bob wire.
Yeah, and these are sharp, but they're not that sharp. But they're one of their sharper ones.
Them were cool. They were so cool.
I mean, they really are. And I was hoping, and it just that they were more FDE color, but you know they aren't. They're more of a brown color. Not a big deal.
Buy them in dirty olive.
Well, because they do come in dirty olive.
I know. I was looking at it.
I almost opted for the dirty olive for this, almost, but I didn't. And then, of course, the Hydra grip for the AR-15 is also, it's like the golf ball pattern, kind of. Super grippy also. And it's also in Hyena Brown. You know, they're just, it kind of shows what they can do. But the Hydra grip, I was hoping would match FDE more. Doesn't, so now it's just on a black rifle. No big deal. I will say, even though they are a sponsor, everything's honest here. The first Hydra grip they sent me, the hole for the safety, is that correct? Safety selector where the spring goes in was off by like 100,000. So if you'd put it on, it would bend the spring. So I would, you know, and so in Chad fashion, I emailed them from, you know, personal accounts. So they didn't have any idea that it was anybody from the show. And they were right on it. They're like, yep, well, they sent me one with a call tag with a shipping label to ship the old one back. You know, super easy, great customer service, but
I'm just laughing thinking about what Chad's personal email likes to be choked at gmail.com.
Wally Gator.
See, and neither of those are right. I mean, it's really just, you know, Tony loves me at Gmail. But
GeoCities.
But I wanted to know
AOL.com.
Yeah, that's right. I wanted to let everybody know that the grips are cool. They are super functional. I did have that small problem, but they did take care of it super, super quick. And so that's pretty much all I had to say. I think somebody in the comments, Tony answered that it was 9mm. So, yeah. But that's really all I have on those. Yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions, but you guys have all seen stuff, so I doubt you're going to say much. So
I was just checking out what you call it. Make sure, I'll say this just to say it. Make sure your firearm, if you're getting grips, is one of the ones that the grips will fit. And if there's even a slight doubt, make a phone call.
Yep, or email them, or especially with the 1911 grips, because like these are an ambi cut for a Rock Island. So they have a little bit of a different cut, like right up here where the safety goes. So, you know, they have them different. They even have grips for bobtails. So you can get those too. Now, product spotlight and discussion. This might be what everybody's waiting for. Maybe not. First up, Palmetto State has come out with the Sabre AR10, or updated it, officially came out with it. MSRP is $11.50 to $13.50, depending on options you get. They have both forged and milled receivers, depending on what you would like. The milled ones in the same pretty much one are basically $50 more, I think, when I was looking at it. So you can get, you know, billet forged, whichever one. A few different barrel lengths they offer. The link in the show notes takes you to the AR10 page. They are chambered in 308. The one I happened to click on, they make like a 13.7 in 308. That thing's got to be loud. A 16 and I think like an 18 or 20. I'm just off the top of my head. The one I'm looking at right here is a 16-inch. It runs a mid-length gas system. It is a 16-inch 416R stainless barrel. They're running it off with their 15-inch rail on it. Some of the shorter ones you can get like a 13-inch rail. 1 in 10 twist, gas block 750, and they do come with adjustable gas blocks. They're running their Sabre comp. Receiver is forged 7075 material. They are T-marked uppers. It's running also their Sabre AR10 bolt carrier group. Bolt steel's 9310. Hard chrome bolt finish. It's running a Radian Raptor LT charging handle. The Sabre 2-stage DLC coated trigger. An H buffer. And also the Radian Talon 4590 safety. So this one has a B5 SOP mod, pistol grip, and stock. There's also, I had linked to a Firearms blog article, basically says the same thing, but it is their new Sabre line of AR-10 rifles. And as we know, everybody says, oh, it's Palmetto State, but with everything they've been coming out lately, they've cured their pretty much QC problems they had years back. And I can't really say enough nice things about Palmetto State right now with all the stuff they keep coming out with. The daggers are great. They're cheap. You can get an AR-10 now complete for $1,150. And I think they even make one in 6.5 Creedmoor, but only one. I don't know why, but hey, that's what they do. What do you guys got on these things?
Rusty, you muted, bro.
At SHOT Show, I was talking to the guy. I don't remember his name. Big heavyset guy working for Palmetto State, and he was telling me, "So man, just be on the lookout for the stuff that we're fixing to put out because that's when they come out with the Jackal, and then he was telling me about the Sabre was getting ready to come out. He said we're fixing to just turn the market upside down. He said with quality, he says, and we're fixing to put price down where everybody can afford to have something nice, and I think I was at the Circle Bar talking to him about it. And I think this has come a long way because, I mean, before getting an AR-10 was hit or miss because you had to build one and you didn't know if it was going to run or not. And then there was only like very few people that made parts and you had to figure out which model you had to buy parts from, or you had to buy one complete from GMS or whoever, and then you were stuck with their stuff. And now Palmetto's got their Gen 3 out, and all the reviews and stuff I run has been great on it. And at least they have PMAX, unlike the thing we read.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago. Yeah, they're running a standard PMAG,
DPMS.
Yep, style.
So, all right. One, it used to get on my nerves when people would poo-poo Palmetto State because of the amount of rounds I've run through them. And it's like, well, Palmetto State is busy putting out guns everybody can afford, and they're not paying your favorite YouTuber to give it a positive review. Because all of a sudden, people started saying, oh my goodness, Palmetto State Armory, it works. Well, no crap, it always worked, you idiot. It was a really good base rifle. And that's why I like them, because I get the base rifle. I can put whatever I want on it. Living in Jersey, there's no reason for me to have an adjustable stock because I have to pin it anyway. I have to pay somebody even more money to make the stock not move, or I can just order it with a fixed stock. So now they're in the AR-10. So I went back and I watched all the reviews on AR-10s and, from PSA. PSA started making pretty much this exact same rifle last year and put it out. Mm-hmm. That's it. They just switched it over and changed out the bolt carrier group. They changed out the safety, and I think you still get the same trigger. I mean, in the base model. You go fancier.
I would don't care for 2-stage triggers, so I'd just give me a stock GI trigger, and I would like that better. But I kind of get why they did it. But a year ago, like I said, when I said they kind of brought it out, did they have the billet receivers?
No.
Okay,
they didn't have that, and pretty much I'm not impressed by that anyway. You just made the dang gun heavier for no reason whatsoever. It's already AR-10. So for me, I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they're getting the props that they deserve, but it was always a good buy. Again, now I've run them through multiple classes for the last, since 2012. I've been using them and putting rounds through them. Solid bills. And then because they had that good gun at a great entry price, I can add parts later. Add a good barrel. Remember, they used to have the FN machine gun barrels. Mm-hmm. That was their claim to fame. So, it's made in the same line, same factory, same everything. One, it was never made in the same line, but whatever. But it was still a good quality barrel. And that's really kind of all you're worried about. The upper, the lower fit, a good BCG. And sometimes they sell an upper without the BCG. And I'd buy them separate anyway because it's 11% cheaper. When you buy the freaking totally assembled firearm, it's 11% more. They put a different tax on it. So you can purchase the lower and then you can purchase the upper, and you just save 11% like that. And you get the upper sent directly to your home. So I think it's really cool. I wish them the best of luck. I was checking out that 13.7 only because it's insane. I'd be like, that's pretty cool, and it would scare the pee out of everybody at a diversity shoot at indoor range every time you squiz the trigger. Mm-hmm. I know sometimes every now and again we get somebody with Mosins in there, but a 13.7 with a comp in an indoor range.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Rusty's listening to. So.
I don't know. It's the same thing because he's done it a few times, and it freaks me out because
it's my mother. It's Stewie from Family Guy. It says, "Mama." Mama.
Oh, okay.
My mom's texting me. Sorry.
So I think these are pretty cool. I like the options that you get. Good. I don't know. I have no problem.
Yeah.
The under 18 inches, because I see Mark talking about it, it makes no difference. It really doesn't, because I was checking it out. I was looking it up because I wanted to see what does a 13.7 do. Because when you do the math, it's like, it's the same feet per second or the same foot-pounds as a 7.62 by 39 on the same length barrel. But then you have to understand 7.62 by 39 is 122 grains. And most 308 is 147, 155, and some of them goes up to, 175?
Yeah, you can...
So
Yeah,
so it's still going to be. It's still more mass, so that means something.
Yeah, at the same velocity.
if you read Ryan Kleckner's book, and his preferred 308 boat action is a 16-inch boat action heavy barrel that he uses out to 1,000 yards and beyond. I have his book, and so it's basically what you zero in at and what you're comfortable shooting with and what you call windage with. And I understand, barrel gives velocity out to a point. So, 16 are very useful for what I use them for. I can see a 13.7, if you wanted to SBR or whatever for like the hunting I do, or if we keep our pistol.
Well, it's pendant welded.
Yeah.
Their 13.7 is pendant welded.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So I'm good with that. Yeah.
Me personally, I was looking at it, and something like that, I'd get one of those linear comps and put on it, just so everybody does not hate you immediately upon pulling that trigger.
What's the one CAC makes that? It's the one is that the linear
KVP linear comp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
It's $54. I had looked it up because I wanted to make sure they had one, and that would take this out to 16. Because in Jersey I can't have a flash hider. Well, this particular 13.7 they sell even comes with the comp, but I'd really want this one on just so it could toss that sound downrange, and I think it'll be a pretty cool gun. And again, a lot of the furniture people change out anyway on these guns, so it's cool. I guess they found money in their budget to send it out to a bunch of YouTubers that charge to do reviews, because all of a sudden now I'm seeing the Sabre reviews coming through for the 5.56 Sabres. Oh, and it's a good rifle. Yeah, it was always a good rifle, 8 holes.
Exactly. And with those two, you can also buy like complete lowers and complete uppers. And
yeah, that's something else I was going to say. You can build these in sections with like the different whatever you wanted. That's one good thing about PSA. You don't have to go with just that rifle. You can build them in whatever configuration you want.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, I dig that. One thing I don't get, but I don't know why they don't have rifle. They only have rifle length in 20-inch.
Yeah, I was going to say
from back in the day. Yeah,
I don't. And the 20-inch they make in this one, I don't know if it's. I didn't look to see if it's rifle length or not.
I was looking. I didn't even see a 20-inch in this one.
Well, you got to go to page 2. That's the down. Scroll down. There it goes next. That's all. No. That's also where you get the 6.5 Creedmoor ones. Sabre AR10.
Okay. Yeah, I see it. Okay, yeah, and again, it's rifle length, but and also the handguard doesn't even cover up the...
Yeah, I don't know why they put a short handguard on it when it's a rifle length gas block, but hey, I guess...
That's something they just did with this. Maybe because it looks like... Does it look a little like an SR-25?
Yeah, and
like
yeah,
the M110? Yeah.
It does look more like that, but you get the idea. You can get them with, and the 18-inch. Did you check it?
Yeah, they're a mid.
They okay. That yeah. So the 20 is where, and it might be due to the different gas pressure, because like between like an AR, an 18-inch, you can run a full rifle length gas system. With this, maybe not. So that's
maybe not.
That's above my pay grade.
Yeah, that dwell time might be different, that you have to change that out. But it was really cool because I was shooting a Arrow AR10, 3 weeks ago? And it's not the monster people pretend they are. I mean, yeah, it's a little long, but sorry, but you start shooting real full-size rifles. And even Tim from Military Arms Channel talked about he's switching over from 5.56 to 308 now.
And
his home defense guns and stuff.
And you got to look at this. You got to look at the original AR-15 was a 20-inch barrel. And really, if you think about it, it's only 4 inches more sticking out the front. And now you got it in a 308 package. If you get a 20-inch, not a 16-inch, but I get it. So
I do too. Yep.
That is the PSA Sabre AR-10. Or 10s plural. Next up, SIG has brought out the Romeo X and X Pro. MSRP on these is $409.99 to $459.99. These are red dot sights, micro red dot sights. You get the idea. Basically, the regular and the Pro are just different footprints, and they're slightly different sizes, but everything else is pretty much the same on them. They run a side mount battery, so they can set the platform lower so that you can use standard pistol iron sights and see through the optic. That's the big plus on them. The Pro, as we're calling it, is because the mount type is, they call it an R1P/R2, which is for their SIG pistols. It's a Delta Point Pro footprint. And then the regular is the 365 or Shield RMSC footprint. Both of them have the specs are pretty much the same. They run a 1632 battery. The objective lens it's a 24 millimeter window, 1.5 MOA adjustments on them. The reticle is a 2 MOA dot or a 32 MOA circle or a combo of those. Now, the overall length is where they're different. The Pro is 1.83 inches, and the regular, the standard X, is 1.62 inches. Overall width, this is the one that I'm confused about. The Pro is 1.23 inches wide. The regular, which is the RMSC cut, is 1.29 inches wide.
Yeah, that's the micro.
Yeah, and I'm looking at these going, okay, I get it, you want a big window, but your 365 is like under an inch wide.
It's like 0.9. Yeah.
Exactly. So just go with me here. They're both 0.94 inches high. One weighs 1.15 ounces, the other one weighs 1 ounce. They do have 12 daytime and 3 night vision brightness settings, so 15 total, which is just, a little more than most people. 80 MOA of travel adjustments, and runtime's 20,000 hours on these things. Now, they are made use a 7075 aluminum housing, plus all of their other, stuff they have. The low mount, I think, is as low deck height as they say, is where it's really at. The thing is, it is open emitter. It is, they say it's 10 millimeter rated, so okay. And of course, it's motion activated illumination. There was one thing that I didn't quite understand and couldn't find. It says patent pending beryllium copper flexure arm.
Mm-hmm. I didn't understand that either.
All right. Go ahead.
Please explain us, Tony, if you found it, because I was looking on their stuff and couldn't find it.
All right. You had to actually watch one of the videos from.
Okay, because I went to the technology details and I'm thinking, oh, that's where it's going to be. No.
Yeah. It's something to do with the movement of it, how it comes on. It's just something interior. That's all. Because he was talking about it, I'm like, where did this little copper piece come from? And that's what he was talking
about. Now, if SIG would have invited me to the range thing they had like a month ago where everybody saw these, being that it's an hour drive from me, I would have gone and would have been able to tell you what the beryllium copper flexure arm was.
Well, see, your first mistake is waiting on an invite. Just go.
Just go. Show up at the range and say, yeah, I'm here for the SIG range. Well, I didn't know until it was pretty much going on, so I couldn't take the day off.
Well, okay. See, there's secrets to this. 1, you show up. 2, you wear a high-vis jacket. All right. One of the high-vis vest. Grab a clipboard. Put on ears and a freaking hard hat. And walk through like you're supposed to be there. No one's going to ask that guy a question. Just walk with a purpose. A steely-eyed purpose.
I'm remembering that for next time. What are you here for?
Bro.
Yeah,
you know why I'm here.
And drive in a white F-250.
Oh, even better. Just rent a plain Jane F-250, roll up in there, and park on the grass. Like, yeah, what you gonna do?
Uh-huh.
I ain't here for a long time. I'm here for a good time.
Well,
baby.
and the best part about it is the range it was held at is also a functioning gravel pit on the land. So see, it would have fit right in. So
Told you.
I guess we'll go back to the X optics. Anything, Rusty? You got anything on them?
No, I tell you what, I looked at them just the looks at them. I like the coating on there. I have, just like you, Chad, I've got a bunch of optics on my handguns. These things look really durable. They look duty use, like they can take a beating. I like the coating of the lenses. They look like they're almost polarized. I know they're not, but they look like they're really good with the sunlight. That's something I'm always worried about is washout in the sun, and they got this reflective coating on there, and which is really cool. And the Motec activated and the Magnatec and the dark adaptive reticle coatings. That's what I guess that's what I'm talking about. And this helps out a lot. When you go from daylight to dark or different brightnesses, because I'm always checking my gun. Like when I pull my firearm out with my red dot that I carry, I check the brightness level of it. If I go out in the sun, before I get my truck, I check the level of the brightness of it. I reholster. And when it gets dark, I'll pull it out and I'll check it because I don't want to be under bright or over bright. I try to find that happy medium for the condition that I'm in. Maybe that's just me, but
and you like being not too bright. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I knew somebody was going to say something about that when I said it. So you seen my butt last week, so kiss it.
Yeah, it's the worst OnlyFans preview ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, and I do believe that they do look pretty rugged. So I'm hoping that for the price,
because I've got 2 SIGs and I'm really with the Brownell slides that are out now. This is an option for me, and so.
Yeah.
Well, they came out, but they also came out with the one for the M17. Mm-hmm. And the M17 is a fully enclosed emitter. And of course, when you put something out that's fully enclosed at the same time you put these out, everybody's going, how come the one for civilians, or at least for the regular P320, is an enclosed emitter? Maybe they'll change it up later. I don't know. Who knows with SIG?
It's SIG, and give it a month or 2 and they'll have that one available for everybody else too.
One question I did not see. What's our warranty?
I have no idea, but I bet if you broke it.
I've looked on 3. I looked at 3 different places. I looked at Recoil Web. I looked at SIG and a few other places. I didn't see it. That is for the price. I want to know a warranty.
Yeah, and it better be pretty much indestructible for the price too.
Yeah. That's one thing. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to see a 2032 battery instead of a 1632.
But
and the crazy thing the SIG does sell is for the enclosed emitter is the Romeo 2. It has like shrouds that you could add and actually turn it into an enclosed emitter.
Yeah, that one's been out for a while, but yeah.
Yeah, actually it's on sale because I don't think it pretty much moved. Listen, people want one or the other. They don't want a do-it-yourself Build-A-Bear version of an enclosed optic.
This is true.
I tell you, SIG makes good red dots. I have a bunch of their red dots on my rifles, and they've been put to the test through hunting. I've beat the crap out of them on several of mine, and they keep running. And I haven't had any get knocked out, where they don't hold 0 anymore. He might get knocked off just a little bit, but the guns have been dropped and rolled and dropped in the back of the truck or out of the truck or whatever. But they run.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I've slammed ours in and out of the range in and out bags. It's hilarious because I don't even treat it like there's a firearm in it. I'm like, yeah, here you go, boom, drop it on the floor, boom, throw it on the table.
Like when I went, this you guys will appreciate this. When I went to Aaron's this weekend, and yeah, I didn't know a lot of these people, and they're, I have a bag, and I wasn't sure what I was going to shoot or what we're going to shoot afterwards, and so it was my range bag, and I literally had 4 pistols that I just threw in the range bag. Literally, they're just thrown in there. No sleeve, nothing. They're just thrown in there. Some of the people are looking at me. I'm like, what? I mean, you just throw them in there. It's like, hey, you get, you got to test the stuff. If it can't be thrown in a range bag with 3 other guns, what good is it?
Well, Tony has to marine proof his stuff, and he still breaks it.
Yeah,
and
but
I have to kid proof mine because I have a 15-year-old daughter that I hunt with, and then my son is 9, who's coming up, and they will just beat the crap out of everything you got. And I tell them, listen, just because they don't have any scratches on them now, don't mean that you have to treat these like they're delicate.
Yeah,
these are working guns. They're tools.
Yeah, it's not like it's an heirloom one or something.
Yeah. It's an AR-15. It's a Palmetto State lower, and some kind of upper I've built in a $150 Sig Romeo, and they take me to that point, honestly.
and I'm just really good at breaking stuff, and I figured that's why the Marines didn't want me, was because they knew I would break too much stuff.
Yeah, well, also back in your day, there was that, don't ask, don't tell was the thing. They wanted to know. They were asking.
I thought it was the red dot was somebody was holding a torch up out there and packing a muzzle loader.
Well, that's Tony's age. Muzzle loaders.
Nice.
So that was the Sig Romeo X and X Pro. Next up, MDT has come out with their field stock. MSRP is $299.95. This is an original stock, unlike the MDT, who's known for their chassis. It's pretty cool. It's just, it kind of reminds me of kind of a Magpul stock. Right now, the only action it's available for is the 700 short action. Comes in black or FDE. But basically, they still put aluminum core V-block bedding in it to free float the barrel along with the other stuff. It has M-lock slots on the front of it, sides and bottom. Also has a swivel stud in there. Uses AICS magazine compatibility. So if you have a 700 that doesn't have that, it integrates that in. The mag catches behind it. You just push it forward and drop the mag out. So it's considered ambidextrous. Does come with a cheek riser. It's an overmolded polymer body over the aluminum, and it has adjustable length of pull by using spacers. So you can add or subtract spacers. I don't think it gave me the length of pull on here, but, I guess I can't complain too much.
Well, it's adjustable, so regardless of what it is.
Yeah.
The pull can change with
yeah, but I was looking for like the shortest, and I couldn't find it. The stock itself weighs 3.1 pounds. Yeah, all it says is adjustable via spacers. So overall length is 32.22 inches. You can't put anything fatter than a 1 1/4 inch barrel in it. So I'm thinking if you're going to do that, you're going to probably use a chassis of sort anyway. And the cheek riser can adjust 1.37 inches. But it's out there. MDT makes good stuff. The price seems about right for what you're getting. I don't know if you guys got anything on it.
Well, I've seen it. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I've just seen their chassis system. I've shot one of their guns somebody had over. And these things are taking that step to bring it down to somebody who just wants to see if they want to get into it. Maybe they want to, take that wood off. Or maybe they even got a great sale on, something somebody had, but the wood's jacked up. Well, you could either try to replace that, or for like less than $300, you can get this and have it free floated, have M-lock, have adjustable everything. I think it's a pretty good deal. Plus, it gives us the ability to take detachable magazines too. Like again, with something used, dude, you just upgraded your gun for like very little money. I mean, probably for the price it costs you to buy a new one, you just turn this thing into a modern rifle.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like you said, like the other day I was down at the local discount store. They sell rifles and stuff, and they had like a Remington 700. I don't remember, one of the cheaper models in 6.5 Creedmoor. And, you know, it's the crappy synthetic stock. And I think it was like a 24-inch taper barrel, but it was like $480 or something. And
wow.
And you get something like that, $300. You now have a more stable platform. You go buy a Trigger Tech or Timney or something, and you got $1,000 gun that will probably shoot pretty darn good, you know, and you know, something like that. Now, of course, they call it a field stock because it's more for like hunting and stuff. But looking at it, it would be a good all around stock for just anything, in my opinion.
That's what I was thinking. It goes, you know, we got a local place, a police wholesaler here that we get a lot of our firearms at, and they get a lot of departments that confiscate guns. They sell them to this place here, and we get a lot of 700s that are old, and the wood is just beat the crap, but the actions are great. And if you wanted to buy, you know, you can get them for $300, $350, $400, and if you wanted to do this and put that barreled action in that, I mean, you just like Chad and Tony said, you've got you a good gun that if you wanted to go out and shoot some local matches with or something, or you wanted to go out and hunt with, you can adjust it around for you, your wife, your child, you know, and something. Or if you wanted to swap out, if you had grandpa's wooden stock that just still pristine and you didn't want to mess it up and you wanted to go out and hunt and do a backpacking trip and you're not, you know, and not beat the crap out of the wood, here you go. Or if you're in a human environment, you know, you got something good that's going to work for you.
Hey, Rusty, I was going to say, you know what places around here do with the stuff that's confiscated? They get bench made to help cut it up. I couldn't resist that one. And of course,
thank you.
It's perfectly legal for the police departments to sell them to FFLs or give them to FFLs to sell. So, you know,
they do that here.
There's departments here in Oregon that actually just sell them as a lot to an FFL, and then the FFL sells them on Gunbroker.
I have been buying Western Auto 12-gauge shotguns, which are made by Mossberg. They're actually Mossberg 500s. Because I have been putting Mossberg 500 parts in, like one of them was missing the Tang safety on it, and I ordered from NDZ.
Yeah,
I ordered the new safety and stuff for the Mossberg 500. Fits right on there because I researched the serial numbers and stuff, and it said made by Mossberg.
Yeah,
and you know, I mean, everything. And then I took one of my Mossberg 500s and I swapped barrels and stuff, and I was like, oh, it all fits. So. Yeah, I go out and I'll go in there and I'll start going through there. I'll sit down on the ground and start fondling these things and finding which ones are which and buy them. So that, you know, go find these places. And I'm a firm believer. Find these stores that have these guns like this and buy one that's got a beat up stock. Find these stocks like this right here. Build you something good instead of spending $2,000 on something when you can come out half the price and put you something together.
Yep.
You know,
yeah.
Pawn shop finds are great. You know, find your local wholesaler or police trade-in shop or something.
Yeah, that's exactly. Well, and the thing is sometimes like places like Aim Surplus and stuff get surplus guns in that you can buy pretty cheap and have them shipped to you. Well, shipped to your FFL, but yeah. Yep. So, as you know, that was the MDT field stock. And next up, Civivi has come out with their, I looked these pronunciations up, we're calling it the ball tear. That was one of the pronunciations. The Bell Tier one just didn't sound as good. So.
Ball hair.
Yep.
So I don't know, but the ball tear, MSRP is $75 on this thing. It is and for what this is, it's kind of a cool, larger style knife. It's got a 3.9 inch blade on it. Closed length is 5.15 inches. Blade thickness is 0.12. Handle thickness is 0.55. It does weigh 5.85 ounces. Width is 1.7 inches. Overall length is 9.12 when that thing's open. It's running an 14C 28N blade with a hardness of 58 to 60. It is flat ground. It is a Tanto style blade. The one in the show notes happens to be a black coated blade, but they have a few different other models. This one has a tan handle also. Pocket clip, tip up left right is normal. It is a screw and thumb studs and also a flipper. So depending on how you want to open it, and it's running a liner lock. I just thought it was something different from him. It looks more like you would make kind of a fixed blade. It's kind of a larger style knife. I don't have a use for it, but
All right.
That's me.
So I checked this out, right, because I thought it looked familiar.
Mm-hmm.
And what it looks like to me is one of those Medford Praetorians.
It does look a lot like a Praetorian, but it's not as
if you look at them
fat.
Because they got the Medford Praetorian Slim, and that's what it looks like. So I pulled up the video of it, and I don't know if it'll show. Here we go. So it has there, of course, it plays that because this is not a movie. And the movie's like, hey, let me show you something online. Ping. But so I was looking at it, right, and I was like, yo, dude, this is like a Praetorian, because I was like, it looks so the way they had everything cut out.
Yep.
So
that's what I thought when I saw it.
Here is the video. And that's the Slim. Actually, this is a little longer blade that's on this Civivi,
right,
than on the Slim. So I like the way it's cut. I was checking everything else because they haven't released it yet.
Right. It's just pre-release. It'll be released soon, but
yeah. So it's on ball bearing. It's on ceramic ball bearing. It has a little bit of flipper action on the front. I looked at that the pyramid, the thumb stud, and that looks way too close to everything to look like it's useful. I mean, unless it sticks out severely on the side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, how can I dig in and get that sucker?
It looks short. Yeah, I mean, they put a little cutout so you can get to it, but I mean, the height of the thumb stud seems like it's less than the handle thickness. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because look, yeah, because I'm looking at it, right? Because, I pulled all of the pictures off the website and put it in the video this morning.
Right.
But when you're looking down from the top,
mm-hmm.
they didn't really provide that great of a picture.
No.
If it's sticking out a little, cool. But it's a bigger knife than you think. It's a 9-inch knife.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, and it does have a flipper. So I guess, you got two ways to open it, but I think the flipper's probably the way to go. Yeah,
definitely the way to go on this one. It looks pretty cool. It looks like you mean business.
Yeah.
When you pull this puppy out, but it's deep. I mean, it has a deep pocket carry.
Yeah. It's going to look like you got something in your pocket.
It's going to stab for sure with that pointiness of it. I'm not a fan of that style blade. I mean, to me that's kind of like as a self defense blade, and that's what I get out of it. The blade steel, it's an easy blade to sharpen. It's got good corrosion resistance. It's tough. but the edge retention is not all that great with it. It's about 4 levels below, 3 levels below D2. You're going to sharpen it a lot, so get ready to sharpen it. It's, so I mean, it's a good knife. I'm not knocking it. If that's the style you want, fine. Just learn how to sharpen a knife.
I'm knocking the price.
Yeah, I'm not going to price, but they could have used better blade steel.
Yeah, I think I'm not
a fan of that. I'm not a fan of stainless unless it's in a fillet knife.
Yeah, I get you. And that's the thing is I think they put stainless blade steel because they don't want it. They want it to be a knife that you can get wet and do stuff like that with. But then you also get, like you said, the 14C28N doesn't stay as sharp. It's easy to sharpen, but of course it doesn't stay as sharp as long as like D2 does. And D2, I think they didn't use because they probably don't want it to rust. But I'm with you in that case, Rusty. I like the looks of it, but I don't care if all you did was carry this as maybe a self-defense knife and learned how to use it properly. I think it would be okay. But for everyday use, I don't like Tanto blades for everyday use.
It's got no belly on it. So it has no belly. So how do I use this? Like I have Tanto bladed cold steel shuffle too. I mean, not cold steel shuffle, Kershaw shuffle too. Great for opening boxes, envelopes, stuff like that. Plus, it's a small blade, so it's not in worst case scenario. Yeah, I guess I can use it to defend myself. But truthfully, with no belly, like what do you cut up with this? You process food with it. You can't process game with it. Everything gets stabbed. It's fun.
It's for stabbing stuff.
This is the ultimate knife to process anything with right here.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is even now this is not even a Civivi, it's their Sencut brand. But, it's got a normal blade on it. I actually am really liking this thing. At first I wasn't sure, but it's a thin blade.
Yep.
This Sencut. So it's great. It stays sharp. It's D2. And it's got a good belly on it for cutting stuff. And it's like, okay, I get it. But yeah, this Tanto blade, I'm like, nah, I'm not going to.
It's different strokes for different folks.
Exactly.
If we don't like it, doesn't mean somebody else not going to like it.
Exactly.
But,
it's going to be durable.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one for sure. It's going to be durable. But I can't sharpen these knives, this style knife, to save my damn life. I wind up rounding that thing out so bad to where it has a belly on it.
You have to pretend it's two different blades.
I
was looking it up too.
That's my issue with it, and I've been sharpening knives all my life. And I can't sharpen them.
For me, I have like 2 Tantos that I never use, but to sharpen them, it's the same thing. I use the one where you clamp it in, and then you with the whetstones, because you have to do it as 2 separate knives, and then it works. Everything else, nope.
Because my favorite beater upper is a cold steel GI Tanto, and it has that American Tanto blade. And pretty much the minute, and I ain't gonna say who I gave it to sharpen it, but they rounded that sucker off, at least a bit of it. Yeah. They rounded off, and I'm like, I should have known not to give it to a regular knife sharpener.
Yeah.
Because they sharpened it just like they did a steak knife, and it wrecked that.
Oh yeah.
Anyway. So just be aware of what you're getting.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us, before you go into this, you don't know about stuff like that. It's like, hey, it looks really cool. It looks sharp, and it just looks like a cool knife. But then it's like when you get to using your knife like you use your knife for real, sharpening pencils, cutting boxes open, just knife stuff. You realize, one, the blade has been chipped and dull quickly, and now you got to figure out how to sharpen this, and your little smith ain't going to do it. You know what I mean?
Yep. So, that's the Civivi what?
Ball hair.
Ball hair.
No, it's the ball tear.
Yeah, well, it's still better than, because the other pronounce is Scotch.
Yeah.
It's like ball tire.
Yeah.
Coming from the South, we leave out letters.
I was like, this is got to be good. So I actually searched for the pronunciation of it and listened to them. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. And, they all kind of make sense. But me, I got to put the one in there.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah. So that's,
yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah. Next up.
I tell you what, I do like the grip on it. That it's a good robust grip. That's one good thing I like about it. You get a handful on it.
If they made that knife with a standard drop point blade, that could be a useful knife.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
it's almost a 4-inch blade on it. You change the blade shape and you change the blade steel.
There's a lot of good pluses to it.
Yep.
But I'm looking at that price, and that price is kind of high for the steel that it is.
I think when I saw it on Blade HQ or somebody, it was like 60 some bucks, but it didn't drop it a lot. It might be because it's new and it's not actually out. So, Walker Defense. Walker Defense provides shooters with the finest, most innovative quality tactical accessories and firearm components around. From their Nile grip panels to their Nero muzzle brakes, no details are ever left behind. Only top quality materials are used in the manufacturing process. Together, all of this gives you some of the best firearms performance around. Everything they have to offer is proudly made in the USA. Walker Defense, where American ingenuity meets bleeding edge technology. And our product of the week from Walker Defense is the Nero 556. Had I thought about it, I would have stuck the Nero 308 in here so that you could put it on your PSA Sabre, but I did not think about it. So it is there. It is their Inconel printed muzzle brake. They're awesome. That's all I'm going to say about them. You can visit Walker Defense at walkerdr.com. And use the code INSIDER15 for 15% off everything you find over there. Now it's time for Tony to tell us if there's going to be a diversity shoot or something.
The diversity shoot is coming up on August 3rd. We also have a diversity shoot coming up on the 17th and another one coming up on the 31st. So we're getting them out this month. Can't wait to see you there. You'll be getting an email tomorrow morning. And I'm just going to blitz and advertise them all freaking month. Pretty much every day there will be a post with a link to the tickets and everything because I want to see, one, how many people share it. So if you're out there, please share it. But I need to see if, how they're handicapping my reach. Because today I put out 2 posts and one, which is crazy, one for today's show reached like 30-something people. That was it. It was like 30-something likes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, interesting. And, well, right now it said it had 500 views, which that's not what it was telling me before.
Right.
The second one I put up probably like less than an hour later has over 2,000 views.
Yeah, it's like I repost that when you make it, and it seems like certain days and certain posts, it's like I get nothing on it for like 3 or 4 hours. Like not a single person likes it. And it's like maybe 1 or 2. And it's like, really? It's like, yeah, we know you're just not putting it out there. So.
Yep. And the thing says right now, when I look at the insights, 2 saves, doesn't say anything about sharing.
Yeah. So,
and meanwhile, on this other one, I have 46 shares and 8 saves. So who knows what the real number is? But my whole thing is, we got diversity shoot coming up. Really appreciate it. If you guys can donate, that'll be great. I just had to pull the plug on going to Detroit because of the car issues. We have no idea how much this is going to cost because it's a transmission issue. And as we all know, transmission means expensive. So I have to be able to go to the diversity shoots in Jersey. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was like, hey, Rick holds these things every year. The reason I was going to this year's, I wanted to make it a priority actually to visit the ranges and talk to the range owners, was to set up for diversity shoots next year. But as soon as my vehicle is repaired there is no reason that I can't drive up there and check it out for myself. So it'll just be later on this year.
Sounds fair. Now Tony just dropped his phone /
He just passed out.
No, he's laughing in the background. Should we mute him or should we call 911?
Oh no, let's just see what happens.
Yes, but we have to talk. So while we're waiting for Tony to do something, next week we're going to have Steven from Primary Arms on. It's the day after their big optics drop for this quarter or whatever it is. So he's going to tell us all about it, the optics. So next week will pretty much be new Primary Arms optics. So Rusty might have to wait and see what kind of cool stuff they have to put on his 22. So you can send us questions, comments, or feedback to gungearreview@gmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us an iTunes review. Tony's still not doing anything. Oh, he dropped off now. I guess we don't have to call 911. Check out all the other great shows on the Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.net. Don't forget to visit the Firearms Insider at firearmsinsider.tv. You can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Firearms Insider. Don't forget to check out all the other great podcasts on the network. Check out our great sponsors. Tony's back, so he didn't die. Whew. Good thing I don't have to call 911. And thank you for listening to the largest pound for pound podcast on the next network, and we will see you next week.
Obama chef may not have killed himself.